Hello, it's me, Dino. I'm so glad you're here tonight, joining me for another gentle journey back into the ancient world. A world that is older than memory, older than history, a world where giant creatures walked with grace under skies far more vibrant than ours today. Take a slow, deep breath in, and let it out softly. Feel your body sink deeper into your bed, your blanket cradling you just as the earth once cradled the dinosaurs. With each exhale, imagine the day around you fading, the light dimming, the air cooling. We're slipping together into a time 65 million years ago, when the last sunset of the dinosaurs began to glow across the horizon. Picture yourself standing in a vast plain, so open and quiet that the sound of your own breathing blends with the soft hum of the wind. The sun is lowering, its golden disk dipping toward the horizon, casting long shadows that stretch endlessly across fern fields and rippling grasses. The air carries the faint scent of wet earth and wildflowers, drifting from the edges of a nearby forest where towering cycads rise like ancient guardians. This is not a place of fear, nor of chaos. Tonight, we are not here for the violence of meteors or the fire of endings. We are here for calm. For the peace that surely must have come at the close of that final day. The great dinosaurs, unaware of what tomorrow might bring, moved with their usual rhythm, slow, steady, timeless. Their world, for now, is still whole. Imagine the first of them stepping into view, a lone brachiosaurus, its long neck arched gracefully against the orange-pink sky. Each step presses softly into the soil, leaving behind a round impression that will soon fade with the evening dew. Its massive body glows warm in the fading sunlight, like a mountain of flesh and life gilded by the setting sun. It pauses, lowering its head toward a patch of broad leaves, chewing slowly, calmly, as if savoring the last meal of the day. Further away, the silhouettes of triceratops families graze quietly. Their horns and frills are outlined in fire against the horizon, glowing like ancient crowns. They huff gentle breaths, the sound deep and steady, not frightening but soothing, like the sigh of an old tree bending in the wind. A calf nudges closer to its mother, pressing against her side for comfort, and she lowers her head protectively over him. As you watch, the sky continues to shift. The gold turns to deeper orange, the orange into crimson, and finally, hints of purple begin to creep along the edges. The sun itself seems to move slower now, as if reluctant to leave, casting one last sweep of brilliance across the land. Take another breath in, and release it gently. With every exhale, feel the weight of the day slipping away, just as the light slips off the back of the dinosaurs. The air grows cooler, brushing softly across your skin. The tall grasses around you sway like 1,000 tiny hands waving goodbye to the sun. Listen closely. You can hear the chorus of life preparing for nightfall, the steady drone of insects hidden among ferns, the chirp of ancient crickets, and somewhere in the distance, the echoing call of a flying reptile soaring overhead. Its wings slice silently across the dying light, gliding without effort, its shadow stretching across the plain before vanishing into the growing dusk. The land is wide, endless, and peaceful. You are safe here, walking softly among giants who do not notice you, or perhaps, if they do, they welcome you as part of this ancient calm. Their size, their strength, their presence, it no longer feels overwhelming. Instead, it feels grounding. You are small, yes, but not insignificant. You are part of the same earth, the same sky, the same quiet moment. A gentle breeze rises, carrying the warm scent of sunlit plants and the cooler breath of water from a nearby lake. Let's walk toward it slowly. Each step is unhurried, the ground soft beneath your feet, cushioned by centuries of fallen leaves. The lake reveals itself as the sun dips lower, its surface catching every color of the sky, fiery orange, glowing pink, soft lavender. Ripples spread outward where a pair of hadrosaurs lower their heads to drink, their reflections shimmering beside them. They make soft honking calls to one another, sounds that echo like distant lullabies over the still water. Sit with me for a while at the edge of this lake. The grass bends under your weight, cool and dewy now as the evening moisture begins to settle. Let your shoulders relax, your jaw unclench, your eyelids grow heavier. The hadrosaurs drink without hurry, their eyes half closed, their bodies swaying gently, as though they too are ready for sleep. Above, clouds drift lazily across the fading sun, painted with streaks of rose and violet. The first star begins to blink into sight, trembling faintly against the deepening blue. Soon, there will be many more, an entire ocean of stars, but for now, just this one glimmers, fragile and patient, waiting for the night to fully arrive. The dinosaurs continue their evening rituals. A pair of Parasaurolophus walk slowly along the water's edge, their tall crests glowing faintly in the last shafts of sunlight. Every so often, one lifts its head and lets out a soft, resonant call. The sound is low, haunting, and strangely beautiful, like a deep horn echoing through the valleys. It doesn't disturb the peace. Instead, it settles into the landscape, part of the rhythm of this fading day. The world is slowing down, step by step, breath by breath. The shadows grow longer. The horizon melts into layers of crimson and violet. The heat of the day releases, giving way to a coolness that touches your skin like a whisper. As the last edge of the sun sinks, the dinosaurs begin to gather. Herds move toward safe places, forests for cover, open plains for visibility, lakesides for water. Triceratops families walk together in close lines. Brachiosaurs stand tall like guardians among the trees. Ankylosaurs lumber into shaded thickets, their heavy tails dragging softly through the undergrowth. Each movement is slow, careful, unhurried, as if the entire world is preparing for a long, restful night. Take another slow breath in, and let it go. Notice how your own body is following the same rhythm, slow, steady, grounding. The land is breathing with you. The dinosaurs are breathing with you. Even the fading sun, slipping into the horizon, seems to exhale one final time, its warmth lingering in the air. This is the last sunset of the dinosaurs, not an ending, but a pause, a lullaby written in light and shadow. Tonight, we will follow it deeper, through twilight, into night, and finally into dreams. For now, rest at the lakeside. The sky above you is aflame with color, the earth beneath you soft and safe, the giants around you calm and watchful. You are held by this world. You are at peace. And as the final rays of sunlight slip away, the story of this ancient evening is only just beginning. Gentle giants in the dimming sky. The sun has now dipped lower, leaving behind a sky painted in deep streaks of amber and violet. A soft hush spreads across the land, as if the very earth is settling into stillness. The golden glow that moments ago covered every hill and valley has thinned into ribbons of fading light, wrapping themselves tenderly around the silhouettes of ancient trees. You take another breath in, slow, steady, and let it out. As your chest rises and falls, you notice how the world around you seems to move with the same rhythm, each sway of the ferns, each quiet ripple of the lake, every soft breath of the dinosaurs around you. Everything is in harmony, each living thing part of a greater, calming lull. From the edge of the clearing, a herd of brachiosaurus begins to step forward. Their massive shapes blot out the twilight for a moment, towering necks swaying gently above the treetops like living hills. They are not rushing. They never do. Each step is a careful placement of enormous feet into the soil, pressing so firmly yet so calmly that you can almost feel the vibrations echo through your body like a drumbeat of the earth itself. The tallest among them bends its neck slowly, a graceful arc against the violet sky. Its eyes are half-lidded, calm, unhurried, as it reaches for the highest leaves that catch the last scraps of sunlight. Its mouth closes gently around them, chewing with slow, deliberate motions, savoring. The sound is deep and hushed, like the rustling of paper far away. As the herd gathers, you notice how peaceful their presence feels. They are immense, far larger than anything in the modern world, yet their movements are soft, almost careful, as if they are mindful of the ground beneath them, mindful of one another, and even mindful of you. To stand among them is to stand inside a moving forest, columns of legs, swaying necks, the soft shadow of tails sweeping over grass. You feel no fear, only awe, only peace. Farther along the plain, a family of triceratops grazes together. Their heavy bodies glow faintly in the soft, red light, like statues carved from ancient stone. The parents stand on either side of their young, forming a protective wall, but their posture is relaxed. They lower their heads, horns angled not in defense but in comfort, close enough to nuzzle the calf between them. The baby squeaks, a high, almost playful sound, and brushes its frill against its mother's leg. The response is gentle, a rumbling breath, steady and soothing, almost like a lullaby whispered in tones too deep for us to imitate. The air itself seems filled with breathing. You hear it everywhere now, the slow exhale of the brachiosaurus herd, the rumbling sighs of the triceratops, the steady honks of hadrosaurs nearby. Together, these sounds form a symphony of life at rest. A chorus not of noise, but of presence, of belonging. You breathe with them, slower and slower, until the rhythm of your body matches theirs. Above, the sky deepens into velvet purple, streaked with soft fire from the last rays of the sun. Against this backdrop, small winged creatures dart like sparks of fading light. Pterosaurs glide overhead, their wings stretched wide, catching the final golden glow as they circle toward their roosting cliffs. They do not flap or strain. They simply ride the air, effortless, as if the sky itself carries them home. One glides low over the lake, its reflection stretching long and thin across the mirrored water before vanishing into the shadows of the far shore. As you watch, the hadrosaurs shift closer to the water's edge. They step carefully, their broad feet barely disturbing the soil, and lower their heads to drink. Ripples bloom outward from their bills, shimmering with the colors of the sunset, dissolving the mirrored sky into gentle patterns. Their calls are soft, musical notes that echo faintly through the valley, a language of reassurance and calm. You imagine their voices bouncing from tree to tree, a chorus that tells every creature, "It is safe, it is night, it is time to rest." From the forest behind you, more sounds join the symphony. The creak of tree trunks as heavy bodies brush past. The swish of fronds bending beneath weight. Slow, dragging steps of an ankylosaurus, its armored form moving like a living boulder across the undergrowth. Its tail drags softly, the club at the end leaving a faint groove in the earth, but there is no threat in its movement, only the quiet persistence of a creature finding its place to settle. Everywhere you look, giants are gathering in peace. Their movements, though vast, are slow. Their presence, though immense, is gentle. It is as though the entire land has taken a deep breath in, and is holding it, waiting, savoring, resting. Take another breath yourself. Inhale the cool evening air, let it fill your chest, then release it softly, like the sigh of a triceratops at your side. Feel your heartbeat slow, your eyelids grow heavier. The earth beneath you is steady, grounding, safe. The herds now begin to move toward one another. Brachiosaurus drift closer to the forest edge, where the shadows are longer and the leaves are plentiful. The hadrosaurs linger near the water, their reflections rippling gently. The triceratops family stays close to the open plain, where the stars will soon shine overhead like watchful eyes. Each species finds its place, and yet together they form one great living painting beneath the twilight sky. A hush falls deeper still. The insects sing louder now, filling the silence with a steady drone. Frogs croak along the marshy banks of the lake. A pair of small feathered dinosaurs, their shapes delicate and bird-like, dart quickly into the low ferns before curling into nests of leaves. They tuck their heads beneath their wings, already drifting into sleep. You sit quietly, watching the world arrange itself for the night. The great dinosaurs stand or lie close together, some chewing softly, others simply breathing, their sides rising and falling with the steady rhythm of life. Their presence wraps around you like a blanket. Though you are tiny compared to them, you feel safe, protected by the sheer weight of their calm. Above, the first scatter of stars has grown brighter. The sky is shifting now, surrendering the last threads of daylight. A band of orange still lingers low on the horizon, but already the indigo of night is spreading across the heavens. In a moment, the stars will cover it completely, and the last sunset of the dinosaurs will truly give way to night. For now, though, you are here, in this in-between place, where giants breathe, the sky glows, and peace surrounds you. Let your own breath join theirs. Let your mind grow quieter. Let your body sink heavier into rest. The gentle giants are with you, their steady presence guiding you softly into the night. And as the dimming sky deepens above, you know you are safe, carried into dreams by the last light of the sun, and by the calm rhythm of a world that, though long gone, still whispers peace to those who listen. The colors of farewell. The sun has slipped almost completely beyond the horizon now, leaving only a glowing ribbon of color stretched across the edge of the world. Orange melts into crimson, crimson into violet, and violet into a deep, endless blue. Each shade fades into the next as though painted with the slowest, gentlest brushstrokes. It is a sky of farewell, a sky that whispers softly of endings, yet does so with tenderness rather than fear. You sit quietly, breathing slowly, feeling your chest rise and fall in time with the earth's fading light. Each inhale draws in the coolness of evening, tinged with the faint perfume of damp soil and crushed fern. Each exhale lets go of the weight of the day, releasing it into the calm twilight air. All around you, the dinosaurs respond to the changing sky. A small flock of feathered creatures flutters upward, their wings catching the last hues of orange as they vanish toward the forest canopy. Their silhouettes are fleeting, delicate strokes against the grand canvas of the heavens. Their wings do not beat frantically, instead, they glide, letting the air carry them into their roosts, as though they too trust the night to hold them. A hush spreads across the plain. The great brachiosaurus herd, so tall and towering, begins to settle. A few remain standing, swaying their long necks slowly from side to side, but others lower themselves toward the earth with deep, sighing breaths. The sound is low and resonant, like a soft drum echoing in the distance. The ground seems to hum gently beneath you as their massive bodies find stillness. Not far away, the triceratops family shifts closer together. The calf presses into its mother's side, eyes closing as the last gleam of sunlight reflects off its small frill. The parents stand close, horns pointing outward but angled gently, not as weapons but as symbols of presence, of safety. You can almost feel the warmth radiating from them, hear the soft rustle of their breathing as their bodies lean into the promise of night. The hadrosaurs by the lake move slower now. They finish their evening drink, lift their heads, and stand in quiet pairs. One exhales, the sound like a hollow flute carried on the breeze. Another answers, softer still, until the calls blend into a fading chorus, a musical farewell to the sun. The ripples they left behind drift outward until the surface of the water becomes still again, mirroring the deepening sky above. And oh, the sky, look at it now. The last streaks of fiery red have dimmed into gentle embers, glowing faintly above the horizon. Stars begin to emerge, one by one, at first faint, then sharper, until dozens speckle the heavens. They are ancient lights, distant suns, and tonight they shine brighter against the vast, darkening canvas. Overhead, a faint band of misty silver unfurls, the Milky Way itself, an endless river of stars stretching from horizon to horizon. It is as though the sky is opening, inviting the world below to drift into its embrace. A pterosaur glides across this glowing band of stars, wings outstretched, a dark shape drifting silently above the lake. For a moment, its form is outlined against the heavens, a living brushstroke across eternity. It does not hurry. It does not fear. It glides as though the night has always belonged to it, as though this final sunset is only a doorway into endless skies. The colors of farewell deepen further. Shadows creep across the plain, lengthening, softening, until the dinosaurs stand half hidden in darkness, their outlines faint against the twilight glow. Yet even in shadow, they remain beautiful. Their shapes are steady, timeless, sculpted by light that lingers like a gentle memory. Take another deep breath in, let it out slowly. With each breath, imagine the light of the sun sinking deeper into the earth, carrying with it the burdens of the day. Imagine your body becoming lighter, freer, as the world grows darker and softer around you. In the forest, night voices begin to rise. The rhythmic chirp of crickets, the pulsing call of frogs, the rustle of small creatures nesting beneath the ferns. These sounds do not disturb the peace, they create it. They form a blanket of sound, a steady background lullaby that cradles every living thing into rest. Closer now, a group of smaller dinosaurs, ornithopods, move in gentle lines toward the thickets. They step softly, their movements synchronized, as if guided by the fading light itself. Their tails swish gently from side to side, brushing through the grass with a soft rustle. One pauses to glance back, its eyes glowing faintly in the dusk, then continues on without fear, vanishing into the comfort of the trees. The plain is darker now, but the lake still glows faintly, catching the last traces of violet and silver. The water reflects the stars, as though a second sky has opened beneath the earth. You lean closer, watching your own reflection blur with the constellations, until it feels as though you too are drifting into the cosmos. Above the lake, the Parasaurolophus pair lift their crests once more, releasing one final call into the night. The sound resonates, long and low, a haunting tone that echoes across the valley. It is not a cry of sorrow. It is a farewell, a blessing carried on the air. The note fades slowly, blending with the hum of insects, the whisper of water, the sigh of the wind. Everywhere you look, the world is preparing for rest. The giants lower themselves carefully onto the earth, their heavy bodies settling like mountains finding their places. Some remain standing, their heads drooping slowly, eyes half closed. The air is filled with the steady rhythm of breathing, an orchestra of lungs rising and falling, harmonizing with the chorus of night. The farewell is not abrupt. It is not harsh. It is gentle, unfolding with patience. The sun has left, but its memory lingers in the glow of the clouds, in the warmth still radiating from the soil, in the calm faces of the dinosaurs. It is as though the earth itself is whispering, "Rest now. All is well. The day is complete." You close your eyes for a moment, listening, breathing. The farewell colors paint themselves behind your eyelids, swirling softly, fading into darkness. You are drifting now, slowly, as the world around you slows too. The last glimmer of orange fades. The stars take their throne. The dinosaurs breathe in unison with the night. And you, held gently in their company, are safe, calm, ready to journey deeper into dreams beneath this sky of farewell. Whispers of the night. Night settles like a soft blanket over the ancient valley, and everything grows quieter, deeper, more tender than before. The last strands of color at the horizon have dissolved into velvet blue, and the stars, so many stars, have unfolded in their patient thousands. They do not rush or flare, they simply arrive, one by one, until the sky becomes a field of quiet fire. Somewhere beyond sight, the moon rises slow and pale, adding a gentle silver to the edges of leaves and water. Take a slow breath in, and let it out. Feel how the air has changed, cooler now, almost sweet, as if the night itself is a fresh spring. With every inhale, your chest lifts like a small tide. With every exhale, the tide recedes and leaves you a little softer, a little closer to rest. All around you, the living world is breathing too. The dinosaurs, the trees, the ferns, the dark lake, they each keep time with your lungs, and you keep time with theirs, until it's hard to tell where your breath ends and the world's begins. Listen. At first there is only the hum, the tiny, steady choir of insects hidden among fronds. The sound is delicate but unbroken, a fine silver thread stretching across the valley. Then come the frogs, answering one another from marsh to shore in gentle pulses. Their voices rise and fall like distant bells lowered into water. Farther off, a pair of small feathered raptors, no larger than modern birds, shuffle their nests of leaves, turning in slow circles before settling, humming soft, wind-like trills to each other the way companions do when the day is closing and the dark is kind. By the lake, the hadrosaurs have made their choices for the night. Some stand, heads low, eyes half-lidded, letting the wet shore cool their feet. Others kneel, bodies tilting carefully to one side, tails stretched behind in long, slow curves. Every so often, one exhales, the sound like a hollow reed blown lightly by a child. The reed note drifts over the water and disappears beneath the wheeling stars. The surface of the lake is almost still, though sometimes a fish turns, and circles shimmer outward, one rippling ring after another, until they vanish into the mirror of the sky. The brachiosaurus herd stays near the forest edge, where the canopy breaks into small windows that open onto constellations. In those windows, starlight falls like powder on the great animals' backs, dusting the arcs of their necks with a faint, celestial sheen. The tallest among them shifts its feet. The earth gives a soft answer, no complaint, just a reminder that it is there, ready to hold, always holding. The massive chest rises, falls. Rises, falls. Even the breath of a mountain can be gentle when night is ready to carry its weight. Closer to the open plain, the triceratops family has made a ring. Parents flank their calf with bodies like standing stones. Their horns angle outward, but tonight they are not points of warning, they are markers that say, here we are, together, here is our circle, our small moonlit home. The calf dreams already, legs twitching, mouth moving in tiny motions as if tasting fern and sunlight in its sleep. Every so often the mother leans her heavy head against the calf's shoulder, a touch so careful it barely bends the grass. She inhales just above the calf's frill, drinking in a scent she has known since the day of birth. On the exhale, a low, almost musical rumble flows from her throat, one note, a lullaby. The calf sighs and grows still. Beyond the tree-line, the night deepens into its many rooms. There is a corridor of dark where cycads and tree ferns grow tight together, leaves overlapping like the layers of 1,000 blankets. Small creatures move there with the sound of soft brushes across parchment. One pauses, listening, another follows. They know the paths by heart, the safe routes that thread through root and shadow, where the ground is cool and free of thorn. Tonight, there is no haste in them, no fear. The valley is a cradle, and they have learned the shape of it, the comforts of its curves. Above the forest, a pterosaur drifts on a current that does not trouble the leaves. It tilts its wings and becomes, for a moment, a dark stroke drawn across the Milky Way. Then it tips again, and the stroke dissolves. The creature does not hunt, it slides, it dreams with eyes open. You can almost sense the soft rustle of its membrane as it turns, the whisper of air around it like finger and silk. A second pterosaur follows, then another, each tracing quiet arcs overhead as if the sky itself has taught them a gentle dance. Take another breath in, and as you breathe out, let your shoulders fall. Let your thoughts unspool like thread into the pool of night. There is nothing you have to hold up right now, the valley holds it for you. The stars keep their long watch. The dinosaurs keep their slow, ancient time. Your only work is to listen. Listen, to the small click of a beetle's leg stepping across a fern stem, to the soft clap of water at the lake's shore, to the hush that comes when a cloud passes in front of the moon and the entire valley briefly dims, like a lamp turned low. Listen to the hush after the hush, the quiet beneath the quiet, where you can almost hear the roots drink and the stones rest and the world think its long, slow thoughts. A pair of ankylosaurs moves along the boundary where plain meets forest. Their bodies seem like shadows wearing starlight. Tailed clubs drag a faint signature into the soil, but even that sound is padded, respectful. They stop, heads low, tasting the air, feeling the cool. One nudges the other toward a shallow hollow where leaves have collected. They make their bed with small, patient motions, a push, a turn, a soft thud as weight finds the exact place it belongs. When they breathe, their armor hums almost imperceptibly, a low resonance that settles through your bones like a second heartbeat. On the far side of the lake, the Parasaurolophus pair, those evening musicians, settle into a stand of reeds. They press their bodies so gently into the stalks that the reeds bend without breaking, and the reeds answer with small, delicate chimes. The crests do not call now, the night doesn't need a horn. Instead, the pair huffs softly, then is quiet, then huffs again, 2 breaths finding each other, 2 notes in a minor key that the night easily carries. You lie back and look up. The stars feel closer here than anywhere you've ever been, as if standing on this ancient ground shortens the distance between earth and sky. A wide river of white pours from one horizon to the other. Within it, there are islands, clusters of brilliance, knots of glowing dust. You pick one star, any star. Watch it. It does not move, though the night moves around it. It does not change, though it shines with a fire that began before memory and will outlast it. You breathe with that star, slow and even, inhale to its silent brightness, exhale to the velvet surrounding it. Inhale, exhale. The star remains. You remain. Somewhere behind you, the forest settles a little more. Leaves relax, stems slacken, the tight clutch of daytime loosens finger by finger. A gust comes, no, not a gust, a sigh, and passes through the canopy in a smooth, cascading wave. The sound is soft, but it is also wide. It travels over you and over the lake and over the sleeping herds, leaving everything cooler, calmer. You can feel it on your cheeks, the way you can feel the breath of someone you love when they lean close to tell you a secret in the dark. And there are secrets here. Not the frightening kind. The gentle kind, the kind that the world whispers only at night when attention is tender and time slows long enough to hear. The secret of how the ground keeps your weight without strain. The secret of how water remembers the shapes that passed through it and slowly, sweetly, forgets them. The secret of how even giants can be quiet and safe when the dark is kind. Now and then, the plain offers a new sound, never sharp, never sudden. A foot shifting. A tail drawing a small circle. A head turning to better align with the breeze. The giants are careful with themselves and with each other. They live as if the world is a shared room, and tonight the room is for sleeping. You find yourself learning from their patience, borrowing it, letting it gather in your chest the way dew gathers on the tips of ferns. Breathe in through your nose for a count of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 2, 1, 2, and release slowly to a count of 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, in 4, hold 2, and out 6. Let your breath become the valley's weather, predictable, gentle, the kind that lulls entire forests into rest. Across the lake, a new constellation rises, its pattern like a slow spiral etched across black glass. A silvery path of moonlight lands on the water and walks steadily toward your feet. When the wind brushes that path, it breaks into coins that wink and vanish. Somewhere beyond the reeds, a cluster of small, downy dinosaurs rustles as they nestle closer. One emits a sleepy chirp and is answered by a dozen murmurs, like a conversation halfway to dreaming. The night has grown so deep that time feels thin. It stretches, it slows, it softens. Perhaps minutes pass, perhaps hours. It's hard to say, because nothing here is measured by clocks. Night is measured by breath, by the movement of star rivers, by the small changes in temperature that tell the skin what hour it is. It is measured by the way one animal leans a little more into another and is trusted to do so. And yet, for all its depth, the night is not without shape. You can sense the valley's edges even when you can't see them, the low rise of the eastern ridge, the taller line of trees to the west, the open sweep of plain north and south. Within those edges, the world seems to understand itself. You, too, are inside those edges. You, too, are understood, by the ground, by the air, by the slow choir of living things that keep singing even when you are quiet enough to forget your own song. If you listen carefully, you might hear the faintest echo of water underground. It moves through the dark the way sleep moves through the body, finding hollows, filling them, balancing, smoothing. Roots reach toward it in patient fingers. Stones hold space for it without demand. Above, the lake receives what rises and gives back what spills. The night knows this exchange and includes you in it. When you breathe in, you join the rising. When you breathe out, you join the giving. The calf in the triceratops circle stirs. A small sound, a dream turning to another dream. The mother leans again, rumbling once, twice, barely more than the sound of a large hand sliding across velvet. The calf settles. The father shifts his stance, placing one foot forward, and the grass remembers the shape of it for a moment before springing back. The ring holds. The family sleeps. Near the forest edge, dreams beneath the stars. The night has ripened fully now. The valley is no longer a place of fading light but of gathered stars, countless and unblinking, stitched into the vast black tapestry overhead. Each one burns with a patient brilliance, as if to say, we were here long before you arrived, and we will remain long after you rest. Yet their glow is not lonely. Their light spills gently over the world below, illuminating leaves, scales, and water with silver strokes so soft they might dissolve if you blinked too long. Take a slow breath in, and out. Let your mind drift the way the stars drift, endless, unhurried, eternal. The cool air carries you, as light as pollen on a midnight breeze. You are no longer only standing in this valley, you are floating through it, drifting as the night itself. The dinosaurs dream beneath this sky. You can almost feel it in the rhythm of their bodies. The brachiosaurus herd stands like a living forest, their necks swaying subtly even in sleep, as though following some gentle current that flows only in dreams. Perhaps, in the depths of their ancient minds, they are still walking across endless plains of fern, still finding groves heavy with leaves, still stepping into lakes that stretch into horizons unknown. Their breath, deep and slow, rises in clouds that shimmer faintly in moonlight, like offerings released into the heavens. By the water's edge, the hadrosaurs are nestled together. Their bodies lean into one another in a long curve, like a necklace of stones resting lightly against the earth. Every so often, one exhales a sound that is part note, part sigh, half call, half dream. It drifts into the air and fades into the cricket's song, becoming indistinguishable from the night itself. Their reflections in the water quiver, elongated, silver ghosts that sway as the surface ripples. The stars shimmer both above and below, and for a moment, you cannot tell where the sky ends and the earth begins. The triceratops family, still circled together, has surrendered fully to sleep. The calf twitches now and then, small legs moving as though running across meadows it has not yet seen. Perhaps it dreams of flowers taller than itself, of sunlight gilding its frill, of games played in the long grass. The mother breathes a low hum in response, as if tethering the calf to her even within the dream. The father's head tilts slightly downward, his horns catching faint moonlight like twin crescents. Together, they form an image of patience, of guardianship, of love so steady it can outlast the night. Above them, the Milky Way bends across the sky, not as a single streak but as a river wide and full. Its waters are stars, its waves are galaxies, and in its current the imagination drifts. You follow it upward, tracing constellations whose meanings are long forgotten, their stories erased by time. Yet here, now, beneath this prehistoric sky, they feel alive again. They watch, they guide, they keep. You imagine the dinosaurs feel this too, though they do not name it, though they do not mark it. The stars have always been above them, and always will be, shining as both compass and comfort. Somewhere across the plain, a Parasaurolophus stirs. Its crest catches the moonlight, and it releases a call so soft and resonant it seems to come not from its throat but from the very air. The note lingers, expands, wraps itself around the valley like a shawl. It is not loud. It is not commanding. It is simply present, a voice that threads through every dream, uniting them all in its calm vibration. The other dinosaurs do not stir. They breathe with it, fold it into their dreams, and drift deeper still. You, too, are drifting now. Your thoughts, once sharper, are rounding at the edges, blurring like stones in a river smoothed by centuries. The night sounds fold over one another, frogs beneath insects, insects beneath whispers of wind, wind beneath breathing, breathing beneath silence. Layer upon layer, each softer than the last, until there is no clear beginning or end. Only the whole, the harmony, the dream. In the forest, the smaller creatures have found their places. Tiny feathered bodies curl into nests of leaves. Small reptilian forms tuck into hollows at tree roots. Even insects pause between chirps, as though taking their turn at resting before the song resumes. The forest does not fall silent, but it does not clamor either. It hums. It rocks. It breathes. It becomes one long cradle song, sung not by any one creature but by all of them together. Now the night is so still that you can hear the faint rustle of stars themselves. Of course, they do not make sound, not in the way we understand. But lying here, eyes half closed, heart slowing, breath steady, you sense it, the vibration of light traveling across impossible distances, the hum of existence itself. It settles in your bones, reminding you that you, too, are part of this great dream. Picture yourself lying on soft moss by the lake. The earth is cool beneath you, grounding. The stars above you are endless, carrying you farther than thought. Beside you, the giant dinosaurs breathe. They dream, and in their dreams, you are safe. You are folded into the story of their night. You walk their plains. You see their skies. You belong. Perhaps the brachiosaurus dreams of endless forests, where leaves stretch taller than towers and rivers curve endlessly toward seas unseen. Perhaps the hadrosaurs dream of warm meadows, full of reeds and flowers, where their calls echo endlessly without reply. Perhaps the triceratops calf dreams of games, of running through fields without end, always returning to the circle of safety its family makes. And perhaps, in your own dream, you follow them, walking beside them, never left behind. Take another breath. Inhale, feel the stars enter your lungs, silver and cool. Exhale, feel your body sink heavier, softer, safer. Inhale again, slow and steady. Exhale, slower still. Each breath is a wave carrying you deeper, deeper into the ocean of sleep. Above, the moon climbs higher, spilling light across the land like milk poured across stone. The lake glimmers, the forest glows, and even the great backs of the dinosaurs shine faintly as though dusted with silver. Everything is touched. Everything belongs. And so, beneath this blanket of stars, the dinosaurs dream. They do not know the word for dream. They do not name the constellations. They do not think of the passage of time. They only breathe and move within the soft landscapes of their own minds, landscapes that feel as real and endless as the world itself. In this, they are like you, dreamers drifting in the night, carried by something larger, something kinder, something eternal. The stars keep watch. The earth holds steady. The giants sleep, and you, among them, drift deeper, safer, softer, into dreams beneath the stars. The last sunset remembered. Somewhere between the slow turning of constellations and the steady rise and fall of ancient breaths, the night reaches its deepest hush. It does not announce this moment. It simply arrives, like a pause in a lullaby, like a hand smoothing a blanket for the last time. The lake has become a mirror perfectly still, holding a second sky with the patience of stone. The forest has folded itself into soft, dark layers, each leaf at rest, each stem unburdened. Even the insects, and they are tireless, seem to sing in gentler patterns, like rain that has decided to fall more quietly so as not to wake the dreamers. Take a breath in, slow and steady, and let it drift out, quieter still. Feel how your chest moves like the smallest tide on the oldest shore, and how the shore welcomes it without question. You are breathing with the valley now, with the dinosaurs, with the very curve of the earth beneath the night. You are not outside this world looking in, you are inside it, held by it, a part of its long remembering. The giants sleep on. The brachiosaurus herd is a row of dusky hills against the stars, each hill breathing. When the moon slides behind a traveling veil of cloud, their backs dim into shadow. When the moon emerges again, their shapes glow as if outlined by the hand of the sky itself. A single neck moves, slow as sap, and settles again. The ankylosaurs lie like anchored boats in a dark harbor, their armored backs collecting dew, their tails curved as if drawn by compass. The hadrosaurs keep their necklace arced by the water's edge, beads of sleep strung across a silver shoreline. And within a ring of love, two steadfast parents, the triceratops calf sleeps so deeply that even its dreams have softened their edges. If you listen closely, you can hear what the night remembers. Not stories told in words, but sensations stored so faithfully that they become their own language, the texture of fern spore on the breeze, the faint mineral taste in mist that rises before dawn, the way every weight finds its home in the ground without apology. Memory is not only what happened, it is also how the world learned to carry it. The last sunset of the dinosaurs has not vanished. It has only relaxed into the night, becoming breath, becoming hush, becoming the tender gravity that keeps every sleeping body near. A tremor of wind arrives, not cold, not warm, simply new, and crosses the plain. It slides over the lake, lifting a skin of starwater into 1,000 tiny scales that flash and fade, flash and fade. It touches the reeds and the reeds reply with delicate fingers. It slips beneath the forest canopy and returns with the smell of bark and cooled sap, of moss that drank the dark and now glows with it. It passes over the triceratops ring and the mother answers with a sleeping rumble, the kind of sound that says without words, "I'm here. Keep sleeping." The calf does. Time loosens, lengthens, becomes kind. We do not count it in hours now but in breaths, in the soft rearrangements of bodies at rest, in the quiet rebalancing of clouds across the moon. If there is an edge to this night, it is far away and untroubling. The river of stars flows on, and you drift with it, placed safely in its current not because you deserve it, not because you asked, but because the night is generous to all who come with empty hands. When the pterosaurs turn in their high, invisible circles, their wings make no sound you can hear. But you sense a change in the air pressure, a gentle kneading that comforts the surface of the lake and the surface of your skin alike. One by one they coast toward their cliff roosts, and when their talons find stone, the stone does not complain. It accepts, as the ground accepts, as the air accepts, without tally, without debt. This is the mathematics of night, where everything adds up to rest. Take another slow breath. Inhale for 4, hold for 2, exhale for 6. Let the exhale fall longer than the inhale, lengthening the path your thoughts must walk to return. The longer the path, the gentler their step, the softer they become. Soon they are no heavier than dust. Soon they are simply light. There are moments when the moon slides low and the stars lean closer. In one of those moments you notice, with the attention of someone who has forgotten the shape of worry, the smallest thing, a trail of phosphorescence in the lake, a single glowworm of water following the fin of a fish. It is like a comet beneath the surface, and it disappears almost at once. Yet the sight leaves a warmth in your chest, as if a match were struck in a room already lit and the extra light found a way to be gentle rather than bright. What is one bright thing in a place already full of starlight? It is a reminder that there is always more softness to be found. The forest turns over in its sleep. Leaves breathe, trunks adjust their long balances, the layered damp of the understory exhales and becomes a gauze along the ground. Within that gauze, tiny feathered shapes press closer, beaks hidden beneath wings, feet curled like commas. A small theropod, no bigger than your forearm, dreams and makes the faintest chitter, a syllable of happiness, perhaps, or of remembering a sunlit stream. Even the beetles pause. Even the moths take their time. And in the ring of the triceratops, the mother at last lies down. She folds carefully, testing the ground with her great weight the way you might test a mattress with your knee. The father adjusts, shifting to place himself so his horns face the openness of the plain. They do not discuss this with one another, the night teaches them, and they have always learned. The calf, sensing the change without waking, rolls nearer until its frill presses against the mother's warm flank. Their breathing lines up. 3 chests, 1 rhythm. If you wish, you can place your hand on the earth beside you. The soil is cooler than when the sunset began, but it keeps a memory of the sun in its depths, a very slow fire that knows how to last. Your fingers will learn its language if you let them. This is how stone remembers heat. This is how roots hold the night. This is how the world bears the quiet weight of sleep without ever getting tired. In this touch there is a promise: you are held. You have always been held. You will be held until the light returns. Far above, at the edge of sight, the Milky Way brightens along one seam, as if a hidden brushstroke has been revealed by a patient hand. The glimmer is not the herald of anything urgent. It is merely the sky continuing to be thorough. Thorough in its beauty. Thorough in its watchfulness. Thorough in its willingness to be seen by those who are ready to look softly. And then, as nights do, this one begins to turn toward morning without breaking. There is no sharp line. There is a slow hard-to-name ease that arrives first in the birds, though they are not yet birds, not exactly, but something like them, ancestors rehearsing the future. Their notes are hesitant and few, as if they are checking with the dark to see whether it minds. The dark does not mind. It receives everything and returns calm. The color shift is next. Not on the horizon yet, there the black remains faithful, but in the field of stars overhead, where the black thins by a fraction and becomes a deeper kind of blue. You might miss it if you were in a hurry. But there is nothing here to hurry for. The brachiosaurs do not notice. The hadrosaurs do not lift their heads. Even the ankylosaurs stay anchored. Only the smallest creatures register the difference at first. Their whiskers quiver, their eyes turn silver instead of black, their breath smells different to each other, less cooled stone, more wetted grass. If this is the last sunset of the dinosaurs, then it is also the first remembering of that sunset. Memory is dawn's work. Night collects, morning names. But the naming will not be harsh. It will not lift the blanket all at once. It will peel it back finger width by finger width, letting the cool of the night linger on the skin so the body can keep what was good. At the water's edge the necklace loosens but does not break. One hadrosaur stretches a forelimb and runs the edge of its bill through the surface the way a child might trail a stick along a fence. Concentric circles roll outward, silver upon silver, and at the precise point where the circles would meet the bank, they vanish, as if invited to rest as well. The hadrosaur lowers its head and dreams a little longer, the last rings fading from sight. On the plain, a faint line begins to draw itself between earth and sky. You could call it gray if you wanted, but gray is too simple. It is the color of ash that has never burned, the color of stone that remembers rain, the color of the first breath you take when you realize you have slept well. It grows very slowly, like a good thought. In that line, day has curled itself into a seed and is preparing to open. No one speaks of endings here. The valley does not. The dinosaurs do not. They live on the scale of breath and light, of forage and water and each other's nearness. The last sunset is not a dramatic curtain fall, it is a tenderness so complete that the world must pause to feel it. You have felt it. You are feeling it still. If you like, you can collect the moments of the night and set them one by one on the shelf of your mind, the reed note over still water, the hush that followed the hush, the mother's rumble, the pterosaur's weightless turning, the comet fish beneath the lake, the armor's soft hum, the ring of safety drawn like a moon on the ground. When you close your eyes later, perhaps you already have, you will find those moments waiting, each small lamp willing to glow again, but only as much as you invite. Nothing here will push. Nothing will pull. The night has taught the memories good manners. Breathe again with the valley. In for 4, hold for 2, out for 6. If your mind wanders, let it wander the way a breeze wanders, curious, light, unconcerned. It may walk the forest paths where dew strings between fronds like necklaces left by the stars. It may sit on the ridge and watch the moon come and go behind tissue clouds. It may stand by the triceratops ring and feel, with the whole body, what safety means. When it returns, it will return quietly, and you will hardly notice the moments you were gone. The eastern edge of the world brightens by another shade. A single star near the horizon blinks out, not because it has ended, but because the air around it has filled with the beginning of color. The river of the Milky Way softens too, not diminished, only folded away by daylight's gentle hands. In your chest, the long, slow orchestra of the night plays a coda so quiet you might call it silence. But if you listen closely, the silence hums. It is full. The first call rises. Feathered, tentative, clear. Another answers, farther off, then another, until the calls become a net stretched across the valley to catch the light as it falls. The ankylosaurs lift their heads, blinking, unafraid, only patient. The hadrosaurs rock forward onto their forelimbs, testing joints that have slept well. One by one, the brachiosaurs raise their necks, and their